Because if you're just doing it for a check, who gonna tell her? Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Simone Nicole here, back at it again with yet another video. Today's video is going to be another Vlogmas video, but today we're going to be doing a nice, comfy, cozy girl talk. It is the morning for me, but I hope that you are enjoying your day wherever you are. I'm also going to be doing like not my normal skincare routine, but like a very indulgent part of it, like masks, face shaving, all of that good stuff. I got my coffee here. You should grab your drinks too, because we got to settle in because the girls got a lot to talk about. Okay, I had y'all write into me to let me know what y'all have been needing advice on, having issues with, and I've been trying to figure out a title of this segment because I want to do this more often, and I feel like I've just come to terms with Simone's advice. Nice and simple. Oh, and then I should have been cutting on my steamer for my steamer to get warm. Okay, this is an interesting one. I have a coworker who used to pick on me when I first started at my current job. A few of my coworkers pointed out that she does not like me simply because she is jealous and insecure. I went to HR on her some months ago by taking a journal of dates and times of her antagonizing me and making my job hell with dirty stares and inappropriate comments towards me when no one was around. She has since calmed down after they called her into the office and got into her about it. But now she places gifts on my desk in my office. She makes crafts for everyone and brings them to our offices. I am all about peace and forgiveness, but yesterday she sat a Christmas DIY craft that she made and sat it on my desk yesterday, and I sat in the main office because I felt weird about it and didn't want anything from her. I don't trust her or the item. Am I overreacting? You are absolutely not overreacting, not in the slightest. I think that this person is at bare minimum a weirdo, and we just don't have time for weirdos. If she was picking on you, first of all, y'all are all grown, and for grown people to pick on grown people is insane. This person just feels like a pretty passive aggressive person to go from picking on you to going into HR and then trying to play nice with everybody. Like, it's such a facade. If you feel comfortable having a conversation with her, I would just play it off, because people like this, I don't think the best choice is to be combative with them. I feel like I would approach it from a stance of like, I am a minimalist. Lie. I'm a minimalist, and I just don't really have use for all these little things. So instead of giving them to me, please give them to other people in the office that I know would appreciate them and use them so much more. Avoid. You are not overreacting. Okay, steaming is over. Let's move on to the face mask. I'm gonna be using one of my favorites, the Versed resurfacing face mask. This next one says, for context, basically me and my friend have been friends for 3 years, and I have been dating my boyfriend for 1.5 years. And a few months ago, I noticed them getting really close, so I communicated with them that I was uncomfortable with it, and she backed off. Now she has her own boyfriend and is saying that I'm jealous of her relationship and loves leaving me out of our friend group activities and giving a lot of shade towards me. What should I do to gain our friendship back? Also, love you, Simone. Thank you so much for being the Black queen that you are. Sorry for the grammatical errors. Sister, I love you too, and that's why I'm gonna say this with love. That's not your friend. I'm gonna say that right now. That's not your friend. Here's how I feel. When my friends get boyfriends or even interested in a dude, the way that they become asexual to me, the way that they literally don't even exist in my mind, because that's her man, and the fact that you told her that you had to say that you were uncomfortable. Both of them give me the creeps. The boyfriend and the friend. Because I don't know how old you are, but especially anything past like early years of college, you gotta know better. I feel like you innately know like what's appropriate and what's not. And then for her to say that she leaves you out of stuff and says that you're jealous of her, no. She's jealous of you. You don't just randomly throw stuff like that out for no reason to say that someone is jealous of you and then she's purposefully leaving you out of shit. That's not your friend. That's your frenemy, and frenemies are dangerous. Get the hell away from her. Cut your losses. Examine your relationship with your boyfriend a little closer and ask him why he felt his actions with her were appropriate. The second he said you're tripping, child, cut him off too. Bye. All of it. Done. And if your friends are willing to participate in her bullshit, them not your friends neither. I'm not saying that you gotta like cut them all off and just say, forget them, but at least move who they are to you in your mind, because those are not friends, sister. Not at all. Not at all. All in all, you shouldn't be working to get that friendship back. You should be working to make new friends that value you, that don't make you feel left out, because real friends, true love in friendship does not hurt and doesn't make you feel left out or less than. First and foremost, I think you're pretty awesome, and I love how real you are with us. Thank you, sister. But my question is, how do I navigate making female friends here in Atlanta? I've been here for almost 8 years, and it's hard out here for a pimp. Listen, I think that when it comes to making friends that share the same values as you need to be going to things and interacting with people who exhibit those values. So what I mean by that, if you are an art girly and you just like want to chill and you don't like do the whole rah-rah going out every night, like you don't want like a going out friend, there's an art exhibit that's free every single Sunday here in Atlanta. Go to the exhibit on Sundays and see who else is there, see who else is alone. You know what I'm saying? Strike up conversations, talk to people, see what people are doing. When you show up to very particular places, at least you know that y'all have common interests, and that common interest is something that y'all can pull from when y'all first start out in friendship, and then you can build off of that. I think that finding just genuine friends is hard, not just in Atlanta, it's just hard everywhere. Go to the places where there will be people that you would want to be friends with, and also really start praying to God for discernment, because sometimes you genuinely just you can't discern who's good for you and who's not. And you really, really, really want to pray for discernment, because that is something that I can't give you advice on. That is not something that you can buy. That is not something you can finagle your way into. You got to pray for that. And I pray for discernment every single day of my life. So that would be my advice. Hey sis, so I need some advice. Am I in the wrong for this? So I have a friend, or should I say had a friend, who would consistently take days or sometimes even months to text back. We could be in the middle of a deep conversation or heart to heart and she would just say nothing back. She told me that she is not a good communicator and she would need me to double text her. This has made me feel upset because I felt like the relationship was becoming one-sided. But in her mind, she will always say that you are my best friend. I love you so much, but her actions never match what she was saying. So I let her know how I felt, and she flipped it back on me and said that I had no grace for her and just didn't understand because she's a single mom. I have a lot of single mother friends, but they would never go months without texting me back or communicating with me properly. Am I wrong for that? I feel gaslighted, and on top of that, her sister made a short about me on Instagram and unfollowed me, and she was posting passive-aggressive posts on her page as well. All I did was express my hurt feelings and that she was a poor communicator. It really sucked because we had so much in common when we were hanging out, and it was great. It's just that thing that really bothered me, and I feel like the relationship was one-sided on that front. Okay. I feel like I can really relate to this one because I am the friend. I am the friend that can take forever to text back. You have to double text me and all of that. So I kind of empathize with her in that sense. And my first instinct was to say that y'all just might not be the best matchup for friends. Before all the Instagram stuff, which we'll get to, I would have said, like, you know what, sister, like maybe you just need to downgrade where she is friendship wise for you, and not in a bad way. It was my therapist that was telling me about like these like circles or like rings of people that you have around you. Your innermost ring is like your partner, your family, like people that will be there like consistently no matter what, because like that's your heart, that's your life, right? Then outside of that, you have like you're like one best friend. Y'all are like enmeshed, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Then the next circle out is people that like you feel comfortable sharing intimate things with. Y'all might not talk every single day. They're not like your best friend, but they are your close friend. And then the circles keep on moving out from there. I think that some people get too caught up and let social media specifically romanticize having that like ride or die. So you try to make every single relationship that, when every single relationship doesn't need to be that. So if you're trying to put her in that, you know, this is your core. If you're trying to put her in that next circle and she's like, oh, I'm a single mama, I just don't have time for that, give her grace, like she said, and move her to one of those outer rings and find somebody else that can fulfill that void for you. Because I doubt that she is like this only with you. It's probably that she's like this with everybody, because the same goes for me. And maybe I'm projecting onto her, but generally there's a lot of us out there that just have problems with consistent communication via texting. I am very much a low maintenance friend, and I really enjoy having other friends that are low maintenance. And I have struggled with having friends that are more high maintenance in my life because I am such a low maintenance friend. And I can't really give you what you're looking for. However, as I've gotten older, I've been able to communicate. I've been able to let people know, like, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. And the people that are in my life are okay with that. So that's what I would have said before all the Instagram stuff. Now that we're getting to the shade and the childishness, which is really what it is, it's a lot of childishness, cut, good, gone. There's no way that anybody that I consider to be my friend, let alone one of my really good friends, would allow for anybody that they know to shade me on social media and make passive aggressive comments. No. And if that's what her and hers consider to be normal or okay, let them have it. But no, that's not cool. I don't like that. I would say that putting that friendship down is fine, because you don't want to keep her around just because she did certain things for you, when she could be taking up the space potentially for another friend that could fulfill you in every single way that you need. So I would say thank you for the lesson in that friendship, in teaching me. I crave a friendship that I can be super close and talk every day with and do that whole thing. Thank you for teaching me that. And now I know what to look for in my next friendship. It is so effing loud outside. I'm so sorry, y'all. Let's take this face mask off and look at these cute little things. This is a sponge. I have a little bowl of water in front of me. Watch. Is this not the cutest? I love it. It really helps me to romanticize my life. And these are like $7. It's like a whole pack of them on Amazon. I am over on Instagram and these prompts are a lot shorter, so I'm gonna try to like rapid fire through them. Someone asked, how do you grow your YouTube channel? So I would definitely say YouTube is a long game, and there's a reason why a lot of the new girls are not doing YouTube, because it takes the longest to be profitable, and it's one of the hardest platforms to grow on. Shorts has helped that. My channel has been grown by Shorts. However, it has been a double-edged sword, because while my channel has grown because of Shorts, a lot of my subscriber base is interested in my short form content, not my long form content. So I've been working to bring them over to the long form side, and it's been working, especially during this Vlogmas. Shout out to the support y'all been giving me this Vlogmas. But I would say it is a long game. You need to stay consistent, and you need to understand why you want to get into not just YouTube, but social media in general. Because if you're just doing it for a check, who gonna tell her? Who gonna tell her that that check is, no, it's not gonna be a check for a minute, okay? Nothing is livable for a very long time. So consistency, post on Shorts, because Shorts can grow your audience very wide, very fast, but don't expect like overnight success with Shorts either. The name of the game is consistency. Don't give up, post on Shorts, and make sure that you are making quality content with a strong why behind what you are doing, Next, financial stability in this current economy, baby. Let me just say this, because this has been on my mind and heart a lot. I know I keep on bringing up social media, and it's like, well, girl, that's your job. And I know, but I can still see the flaws within my job. Baby, the way that social media will have everybody thinking that you need to be living a certain lifestyle. And I'm just like, can we all just take a second to be for real and look at the amount of inflation going on right now and how people are struggling to put food on the table, let alone you being worried that you can't afford the newest Amazon gadget that someone said that you need, or the newest Bottega bag, or whatever the case may be. If you have food in your mouth, clothes on your back, and a roof over your head, and your bills are paid up, you are doing better than like 70% of the world right now. Understanding that if you have your basic needs met, that is a luxury at this point. And cutting back on everything else and just living really, really, really slim, and, you know, writing down all your bills, figuring out exactly what you want to eat before you go to the grocery store so you're not overspending on your food. Cutting your going out to eat budget down to like damn near nothing. Like it's a reward every Friday. Doing your nails at home, doing your hair at home, doing all of it. All of it. Right now, we just got to buckle down and just do basically the necessities until things get better or things start looking up, because it really is hard out here. And I pray for everyone that is currently in this economic system, because this is crazy. How to stay positive when everything around you keeps crashing down over and over. Let's start shaving my face. This reminds me of a sermon that I was just listening to. I go to Elevation Church. with Pastor Stephen Furtick. One of my favorite messages this year was a sermon from a couple of weeks ago where he talked about the idea of being in the valley. You know, like, yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will feel no evil. And that often refers to like the hardest times that people can be going through, right? His whole thing was, in order to be in a valley, it means that you are in between two different mountains, right? So your last mountain was your last high. And even if it didn't feel like a high to you, do you ever look back on the past and be like, damn, I was so happy compared to where I am now? So when you are in that valley, you have to know that it's because there is a mountain that is on the other side of that valley. And I know that it can be very discouraging when it seems like bad things keep on happening to you. But if bad things keep on happening to you, then you have to take that as a sign from whoever you believe in, be it God, be it Allah, be it the universe, who cares? You have to take it as a sign that someone is trying to get your attention and that you need to make some form of a change in your life because whatever you are doing right now isn't working. So whenever I hit my toughest battles, I almost am a little excited on the inside because I'm like, ooh, something good about to be on the other side of this. And I have to think like that. Otherwise, I would lose my ever-loving mind. And the last thing that you want to do is get stuck in the mindset that life is always happening to you and that you have no control over your life. How to connect with content creators without being weird. Let me tell you something. This is one of my biggest struggles, especially being in rooms with creators that I have loved and watched for years. I think that it's very easy to feel as though like you are being used because of who you are when you get to a certain status, and I can totally empathize with that. So I never want anybody to feel like I'm social climbing. So because of that, I would say not to force anything with anybody, especially when you first meet them, and just let your friendship be organic and happen over time. I would start by, and this might sound like weird to anybody that isn't on socials, but dead serious, I would start by making friends with people that are about your same size content wise, so that it feels like no one has anything to gain. We are just here trying to make it in this content creator world and then build from there. It might sound like weird and foreign to people that aren't on socials, but that's really how I look at it, is like make friends with people that you're on the same level with, because that levels the playing field. I'm sorry if that comes off like weird or like disingenuous to other people, but it's such a precarious thing to be a creator and to make friends with other creators. And that's just the best way that I have learned how to navigate it so far. Still got a lot of learning to do, but those are my current thoughts. How do I tell a work crush I like him? Don't. Unless you are literally like 17 and y'all are like young as hell and it's just cute little puppy love, whatever. Almost never does getting involved with a coworker end up working out. As someone that has done it, as someone that has witnessed it, child, just don't. Just don't. Getting my friend to leave her man, he has a corn addiction. So I am pretty sympathetic to all addictions because it is unfortunately something that has touched my entire family even before I was born. So it's not the addiction itself that makes a person bad, it's what they do with that addiction. Let's say this person, if it's not corn, if it's alcohol, if it's weed, if it's whatever, if they feel like it's not a problem and they're doing nothing to fix it, I think that that is what the problem is. Or if they're in denial, I think that that's where the problem comes in. I think that if they're cognizant of the issue and they're trying their best, then it's up to your friend to determine whether or not she wants to stay in that. And she needs to figure out resources that she can utilize, because when someone is trying to recover from any addiction, it takes a village. I think that corn addictions are a lot more common than we like to admit, as is a lot of other addictions. So you need help, you need resources. I don't think that it's leaving her man worthy. If it is hurting her directly, bringing her down, making her a worse person, or tremendously affecting their relationship to where she can no longer function and it's truly bad for her, then she should leave. If it is just off the simple strength that she has shared with you that he has this addiction that he struggles with, but everything else is like normal and it's just something he wants to work on, to me, that's not grounds to leave. In my opinion, if everything else is good, you can feel free to disagree with me, because a lot of people feel like addiction is not something they want to get involved in. I think that my heart is softened because I know so many people with addictions. So I recognize the humanity in addictions, and it's just not easy for me to write people off because they've developed a dependency on something. So y'all, I am really having the time of my life sitting here and talking with y'all. I have to do these more often and make these more of a habit because this is fun. I'm gonna put on these eye masks from Faded. I've heard such good things about these, so I'm super excited to try them, period. Now I'm going to move on to my YouTube community tab. I've tried to pull from every single platform that was possible for y'all to ask me questions on. Since being single after a 9-year-long relationship, I'm not sure if I'm too picky or if I'm actually paying attention to red flags now. I haven't found one guy who hasn't asked me for money, to co-sign, or just someone I can take seriously. My only forms of social media are Snapchat, and it gives off back page vibes. I don't post full body pictures, nothing sexual, but it seems like everyone is playing games. How do I keep pushing forward? I don't go out much because I have social anxiety, so maybe that's why I haven't met anybody I truly like. Thank you. So I think that you do need to get back out there in some way, shape, or form. You said you're in a 9-year-long relationship and now you're single. That's a big deal, and that is going to take a lot of adjusting to get used to. If you are saying that you're being too picky because you're not willing to accept men that ask you for money or to co-sign on something, or just like are playing games with you, no, your standards are not too high at all. You have to be who you want to attract. If you want to attract somebody that has certain qualities, then you need to start to fix certain things within yourself in order to attract that type of energy. Because you got to think about it. Someone that has a charismatic, open, electric personality is not going to be drawn to somebody that is afraid to take risks, afraid to step outside of the house, afraid in general. Because people like that aren't really people that hide from life. I would recommend you going on your own journey of healing yourself and figuring out who you are and what you truly want. And maybe yourself truly is a person that doesn't like to go out. But just because you don't like to go out doesn't mean that you have to have social anxiety. Those two are not one and the same. Once you are vibrating at the highest level for yourself, you will be very surprised at how many things in your life start to fall into place, let alone relationships. You said you don't even post full body pictures. That doesn't have to be sexual. It can just be like a picture of your outfit when you were even chilling at home. It doesn't have to necessarily be out or at the park or some child. People do want to be able to see you, especially online, because everything can just be so mysterious these days. Like, people do want to be able to see a digital footprint of some way, shape, or form. Because think about it, if it was a dude and he was only posting from here up, and he only had one social media platform, let's be for real. Let's be for real. At least me, I would not be running to date him. Too scary for me. Let's do my last and final mask. This is one of my favorite masks of all time, by the way. And as y'all know, everything that I use today will be linked down below. Currently with a boyfriend of over 5 years, wanting to get engaged, but can't because he doesn't have a job and has been in school for 9 years. I was in school for 6 years to be a pharmacist, and he decided later on that he wanted to be a pilot. He was supposed to finish before me. I am frustrated because I did not expect to be a year post-grad school in this situation. Should I wait for him to get his act together or leave? We are 25 and 27. Girl, you are so young. Y'all are so young. We're the same age. You have so much time. Like, I am in no rush to be married or with kids right now because I'm grinding so hard. And I really want you to consider why you want to be engaged so badly. Because let me just say this. If this man is fulfilling everything that you want and he is there for you, he is the perfect partner. But the problem is that he doesn't have a job because he's in school to be a pilot. And pilots are in high demand. So it's not like he's getting his degree in some random field somewhere. Like, he's getting it in a field that has the potential to earn great money. And you're gonna be a pharmacist. Like, y'all are going to eat when your life finally comes together, and like, he's graduated, he's placed at work, and so are you. It will all come together. But don't rush everything just for the sake of, in my head, things aren't going the way that I want them to go. Child, what they say about we plan, God laughs. If the relationship in general isn't doing it for you, that's one thing. But if it's doing it for you in every single way and you're frustrated because he's just behind the schedule that you have created in your mind, slow it down, sister. Because let me just say this, the dating world right now, from what I have been told, ain't shit. It ain't right. I think that if you found somebody that you truly do want to build a life with, I would just say stay, let go of what you envision because it's only going to make you upset, and hold on to your good man. You know what I'm saying? Do you believe in God? And then follow up. If you believe in God, how do you make sure your life aligns with that? So I 100% believe in God. Now, everything else has been a struggle for me because of my upbringing in the church. I was unfortunately raised in a church environment that basically was like, if you are not perfect and living your life exactly the way that the Bible says, that God doesn't love you. And even if that's not exactly what they meant to teach, that is definitely what I ended up getting interpreted to me and what stuck with me the most in my upbringing. So I strayed away from God for so long because I was living worldly. And I felt like, well, if I'm being worldly, then God doesn't love me. That's so not true. God loves you at any point, for any reason, at any time. And I think that if you come to him in earnest and start to build a relationship, not based off of guilt, not based off of wanting to get into heaven, not based off of any of that, but just starting the relationship to explore and to learn, that's going to be step number one. Now, as far as making sure my life aligns with God, I think that God is love. I think that God is grace. God is forgiveness. God is all of the things that I want my highest self to be. And I try to be that every single day. Now, everything else, as far as like living worldly with the music that I listen to and the shows that I watch, and you know, like the way that I'm living, someone that is truly like identifies with like faith would probably say that my relationship isn't as legit because I do those things. But I can no longer let that mentality rule me, because the fact of the matter is I love God. God loves me. I will not sacrifice my relationship with God because he has brought me so far based on the guilt and the judgmental teachings of others. For right now, I'm really proud of who I am. I'm really proud of how far I've come, and it's all glory to God. So I would say don't judge yourself, because so many other people are so judgmental when it comes to religion. Why do you feel the need to judge me, to condemn me? I just encourage you to be kinder to yourself and to take time in your walk with God. Okay, I definitely have to do another one of these videos because there's just so many questions that y'all have for me, and I want to be able to get to a good portion of them. I was reading through a couple of things. I'm gonna wrap it up with this last one because it's just kind of funny. Someone actually asked me a question and they said, what has been your weirdest interaction with people being an influencer? Y'all, because at this point I know that probably most of the girlies have gotten to the end, so I feel comfortable saying this. Girl, why have I gotten multiple pics? I would say the word loud and proud, but you know, YouTube. I do not want to be seeing these men's PPs. And I get them more often than I would like. 0 times is more often than I'd like. Because what are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? That's probably like one of the weirder things that I have had. Everything else has been like pretty chill. But I just think that it is crazy that people feel comfortable sending me their PP. Girl, to my email. I don't like that. That's how I'm going to end this video. There are so many more questions that I really wish I had the time to get through. Ooh, this little move right here. That is going to bring us to the end of today's very long video. I'm going to try to cut it down as much as possible. Thank you guys so much for joining me again and for trusting me with the situations y'all got going on in y'all lives. I love y'all so much, and I just love Vlogmas this year because I feel so much closer to you guys. And with all that being said, I will see you guys super duper soon, as in tomorrow, in my next video. Bye guys.